I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with the cattle market summary for the week ending March the 24th, where your cash feeder cattle markets exploded mid to late week last week, and just dollars and dollars higher there, but still lagging a little bit behind the feeder cattle board, which has been staying to a premium to cash on the nearbys, where your live cattle futures for fat cattle are just lagging so far behind that they can't even see the cash market right now. And it's going to be interesting to see. By this weekend, we're going to be into April. It's going to be interesting to see how those match up when it comes together, and it's just going to be hard for that to happen. I really doubt we see the cash market fall that much. They may meet in the middle, but if so, however it happens, that April board's got to come up, and guys, you can go in there and buy that and speculate on that and help make it happen. But you look at your board for last week, live cattle futures, we're still looking at the April. That's not the most play that we see. It's in June, but it's just going to be interesting to see how they recover. But Monday live cattle futures for April were down 42. Tuesday was up $1. Wednesday up 2.55. Thursday down 67, and Friday up 32 cents, with April ending the week on live cattle at 122.10. That's up 278 for the week, but still almost $12 behind the top on the cash market. And it's by far a spot market and the closest one we have. And just how that recovers is going to be interesting. Your June market, where most of your play is at 112.85. It's hard to believe we're going to lose that much ground between now and then too. And August is at 107.72. Your feeder cattle board for April, Monday was up 82 cents, Tuesday was up 17, Wednesday was up 3.72. You know, we had that Fed cattle exchange. It was so much higher on light receipts, and that really sparked the markets. But Thursday was down $1, taking some of that back. Friday was up 22 cents, with April feeder contracts ending at 135.57, and that was up 3.95 for the week. Your May's sitting at 133.80. And it's too bad that feeder cattle contracts are just kind of a derivative of your live cattle futures, and you can't deliver the cattle on there. You know, they just have a cash settlement there, but you wish there was more of a bite, because it's staying more true to what's going on in the market by far than your live cattle contracts. But your fat cattle market for last week, your packers tried to change the way that was going. They didn't like the way it was going, trading after that Fed cattle exchange every Wednesday, and having to give up more money every week here for the past several weeks. So they thought they would just kind of ignore that midweek online sale, which was light receipts, like I said. But they did end up turning a few sales in a little bit higher, and then acted like they were going to buy them cheaper. But by the time it got to Friday and they had to sell, the market was higher again. Southern Plains live sales, most all of them at 130, which was $2 higher. Northern Plains, where the market ready supplies are really tight, trading at a premium there, $2 to $4 higher, from 132 to mostly 134. That's a big price there for the way things are. And your dress sales in the Northern Plains from 210 to 212. Box beef cutout values gained ground again last week, not as much as we'd seen the previous 2 weeks, but still stronger on the average of last week's sales. Your choice carcasses brought 223.12, which was up $1.56, and select carcasses up 176 at 215.30. The spread there now is nearly $8, as we're seeing people buy a lot more of those more expensive cuts, and they want the choice to put on their backyard grills, because we've had this early spring. Although we have seen some temperatures turn colder up in the big concentration populated areas here late in the week last week. Your slaughter at a big over 600,000 head slaughter there. We haven't seen one of those for a while, but 613,000 for the week last week. That's 25,000 more than the previous week, and 75,000 more than the same week a year ago. You know, with these big problems that Brazil's having with the quality of their product, and it seems like, you know, you just can't trust what they're doing. These other foreign customers are taking note of that, and it's going to help our exports. It has to. It helps our reputation. It helps maybe bring some new customers in that haven't purchased from us for a while, and it's just going to be a positive thing. And you believe these packers are going to be ready for it when it comes. They're not going to let their inventories get low if they get a chance to do a lot of exporting. But you look at your cash feeder markets, I said they exploded on the title here early in the report, but your feeders started out the week just kind of steady to strong. Not a whole lot going on. By the time we got to Wednesday, we saw the board spark, and we saw that we were probably going to sell fat cattle higher again. Then just everybody just come together, and they finally decided we're going to quit ignoring this, and we're going to give more for cattle. You got guys still wanting to buy cattle, two-weight cattle to turn out on grass. They turn heavier weights up, even up over 700 pounds. They're not afraid to turn those out on grass and make real heavy feeders coming off in the fall. But those cattle being competed on by guys that were going to the feedlot or to turn out, but $3 to $6 higher on feeder weight cattle mid to late week. Your calves not well tested in the plains of the Midwest. We just don't see that many of them right now, but down in the southeast they're still ordering a lot of calves, and your markets in the southeast on order to ship west were steady to $3 higher. Real-time index on Beef Market Central, which tracks an 800-pound steer through the central parts of the United States, just like your CME index, was 133.40 at the end of the week, and that was up $4.50 compared to the end of the previous week, which that gives you exactly your $3 to $6 higher trend, which is kind of nice when it turns out that way. Your cattle on feed came out Friday. The analysts absolutely notched it. There's no need to overanalyze that thing and try to pick it apart and say that, you know, we did put more 7-weight cattle on feed this February than we did a year ago. Yeah, but it's nothing to talk about. They just notched it. It was 100% of last year on feed inventories, 99% February placements, and 104% marketings, which is really good. And it should not have any impact at all on your market. But your early week sales coming into Monday, your big sales like Joplin and Oklahoma City, they should be higher to catch up with the mid to late week sales last week. Joplin, notice there's going to have 4,500. We're into lower receipts. We're getting to that time of year. We're just not going to see as many cattle coming to market, and we've still got good demand for them. But should be higher early in the week if things are like they were late last week, and then your trend should moderate out by the time we get to Wednesday, because that's when we saw the big jump. But you look at last week on a Wednesday there, St. Joe Stockyards, my old stomping grounds, you look at Beef Market Central there, had 134 head of 748-pound steers, bring 150 and a quarter. That's a big price right there in the middle of your marker between your northern plains and your southern plains and the Midwest. But DV auction here, if you haven't bought your bulls to get ready to turn out, it's getting time to start doing that. We're getting to the end of our spring production bull sales. If you haven't got one bought, get on DV auction and pick you one out. You may think it's getting kind of late in the sales season, but we've still got 50 production bull and female sales happening this week on DV auction. You can get on there and buy them from anywhere in the country, and most of those places have free delivery or will help you with delivery, so don't be afraid of that. But back here at the home office here in Canyon, Texas with DV auction, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday.